everyone. This is my father, Pedro. He is an immigrant from Brazil, and today we are conducting an interview between me and my Brazilian father. So, to begin, um, can you tell me about how long you lived in Brazil and when you moved here?
Uh, well, good question. I was 50 when I moved from Brazil to United States, and it was in 2005. And then in 2007, I became a citizen of United States. So now I have dual citizenship, as they call. I'm a Brazilian, and at the same time, I'm an American.
How was the process of getting your citizenship?
Well, first I got married to your mom. So actually, I became a citizen because her, like you are. You are a Brazilian and American citizen because when you're born um, abroad in Brazil, even being a daughter of American mom, you automatically become a citizen in the United States. The
Oh,
same thing with me. As I married to her, I became a citizen as well. First, you have to, in my case, you have to have around 3 years of green card. And after the green card, you can apply for citizenship.
oh, okay. Wait, so you had the green card for 3 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's different for each person, but in my case, it was 3 years. You have to be here 3 years, and then you apply for citizenship.
With your citizenship, did you feel more did you feel less alienated and more American, or was it just like a legal thing?
Yes, it's interesting. When you become a citizen, they treat you well. So when you arrive in the airport, in the customers
Hmm.
session, they just say welcome home, Pedro. When you just have the green card or just the visa,
Yeah.
they make a lot of questions and make your life really hard. And several times when I became a citizen, they asked me several questions. They separate me and they put me in a room, and I wait there for 1 2 hours. I almost lost the connection, and from Miami to here or from Atlanta to here. It was a really bad situation because they are so afraid of welcoming everybody here, and some people, Brazilians and South Americans, they come here as with regular visa or student visa, and they stay in this country forever. So they have a lot of measures to avoid this.
So moving on from that, in my cultural anthropology class, we focused on language and differences in culture. And so I wanted to know, when did you begin to learn English?
Well, in Brazil, we have two options when you are young. Or you learn French or you learn English. And I learned both. When I became citizen and when I started to live in this country, that's when you really learn the language. Before, you can survive, you can say the basic words and basic phrases, but when you are here, it's completely different. You have to follow the people. You have to learn to understand fast in a very fast way. So I'm very proud of the years of United States. Even so, today some expressions I don't understand, but I have two daughters and a wife that can explain this or can translate for me some expressions here. From the Brazil standpoint, it's a completely different language. It's very complex in some ways, and you have a lot of expressions and terminologies and accents. Is completely different from Brazil. So you have to get used to this, and you have to be very aware of the language in order to survive and in order to communicate in this country.
Yeah. Um, well, speaking of accent, do you do you ever feel like alienated or excluded or looked at differently with your accent? Just like at the grocery store?
Yes, all the time, all the time. People have a hard time to understand me, and after seconds, they ask me, "Where are you from?" and this kind of questions. It's very hard because it's kind of racism. Small racism. It's a very mild racism because Americans like to talk to Americans because they understand each other. Like
Mhm.
Brazilians like to talk to Brazilians, but you have to work a lot in order to be understood in the United States, and you to understand people as well. It's very difficult sometimes. I think in this country they have a kind of economic racism because if you have a good position like me, I'm the consul of Brazil here in Washington State. They respect you a lot.
Yeah.
If you have money, they respect you, and if you are a nice guy, I think you have more chances to be respected.
Yeah.
But for immigrants, it's very hard sometimes, especially among old people or especially among people that haven't had any contact with foreigners. For
Yeah.
instance, if I go to Oklahoma or if I go to the heartland of the United States, they don't have sometimes contact with foreigners. When you don't have this kind of contact, it's very difficult for them to get used to it, and I think they are afraid of talking to me because I'm a Brazilian. I'm from a distant country. I'm an alien, so they look at me like a guy from Mars, and sometimes it's very hard to initiate the communication with them.
Yeah.
But mostly, my experience in this country, everybody is very sympathetic to foreigners. They try to understand you. They
Yeah.
try to help you. And more than that, they try to explain how America works.
So living in the US, do you still have a nice connection with Brazil and like keep in touch with your family there?
Yes, I do. I do. Brazilians are very emotional and very familiar people. Of family, I mean, I'd say they love family, they love religion, they love celebrate, they love to celebrate. Brazilians are very emotional,
Yeah.
and they express themselves, they touch each other, and they kiss each other. It's a very connected, I would say, country.
Would you say
Um,
that's
and
like a drastic change from US culture?
well, there is the U.S. is more serious about relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not so effusive. I would say they are not so um, they are more radical. I would say
Yeah.
more serious about relationships. They are not so spontaneous about relationships. So here you cannot touch people. It's amazing. It's completely different from Brazil. They told me you have to have 11 inches of separation,
Oh.
but as a Brazilian, I can make a lot of mistakes. So when I see people, I embrace people. I I shake hands in a very emotional way. I touch people. Sometimes is different,
Mhm.
and Brazilians are more. They are not so organized like the Americans. So Brazilians are kind of they don't arrive on time. They you have to talk a lot before go to the real business. Is really different doing business here and doing business in Brazil.
Hmm.
But we are very Americanized in this way.
Well, that that concludes our interview. Thank you so much for this interview. I got a lot of really nice information and I enjoyed this discussion.
Good. I hope you have a good note with this interview.
Thank you. Okay, yeah.
You are very welcome.
But
Okay, bye bye.
bye.